It's always so noisy, so furious in the 8 events as we go through the island. The Leander Club, the voice of Kira O'Brien can be heard trying to get their noses in front of what they know will be a really incredibly strong US crew here from the national team.
Blistering start from both crews. I think Princeton just had that slightly better of it. It's a little bit more synchronised. Just that edge that boat for explode out the start a little bit quicker. Can't quite tell yet from this picture. What a great view of that crew. The dynamism of it. They're driving that crew out off the start, getting up to race speed.
And look, you know, that's exactly what these crews often spend that run down the island doing, jostling for position, trying to be that first bow ball out the end of the island to be seen. And this is a great shot here of the Leander Club crew. Sam Corty in the bow seat takes a sneaky peek across to see that they're still running alongside with the USA.
There's a couple of cheeky looks then, but the sign of a really, really class crew. They're relaxed. They're not panicked. I think they know where Princeton have gone, but they're just calmly sticking to their race plan. They're just doing enough to keep in touch with this impressive-looking Princeton crew, I have to say.
And look at this, 32 strokes a minute here. Well, sort of flittering there on the rating, but they'll be coming down onto pace, just trying to settle into rhythm, but a really really blistering speed from them there on the Berkshire station. Yeah,
up top 18, maybe just nudging 19 kilometres an hour. That's quick. We've seen some of the men's 8s go over 20, but I've not seen a crew hit 19 yet. That's a really, really good start.
And this is Leander Club. This is the elite women from Leander. These are the athletes that are just on the cusp of the squad, really. You know, we've already talked about Chloe Brew, who sits in the 3 seat. She's was in the Tokyo Women's 8 just last summer, but she's now no longer training in that national team setting, but has come back into this club crew here of all athletes gunning for that national team seat.
Just looking at the stroke, she's like a metronome. An amazing rhythm coming from that stroke seat of the Leander crew. But they're up against it here. The Princeton crew slowly edging out further and further. We come up towards the Remenham farm on the right-hand side of the pictures, just off shot at the moment. Just over a third of the way through the race, about that?
Yeah, about a third of the way through the race, and certainly Annie Campbell-Ord and Sophia Heath will be feeling that because they raced earlier in the Hambledon Pairs Challenge Cup. They're doubling up here at the regatta gym.
That's an impressive effort to double up. Here we are, a fantastic close-up view of this Princeton crew. Look at them moving together. The hand lights, the oars going in at the same time, synchronized. Power going down at the same time. Just watch the legs go down, driving that boat forward, each stroke in unison.
Yeah, and you can see the face of Kelsey Relic in the 2 seats, and looking so relaxed. And we're moving now through into the stern of this crew. Claire Collins setting the rhythm for the USA. She was in the Cox's 4 at the Tokyo Olympic Games. She was a silver medalist at the 2nd World Cup of the season, and she also is the holder of an under-23 silver and bronze medal. So she's had a littered international career, and the US have chosen to put that experience in the stroke seat here in this 8.
And it's showing. They're taking maybe 1 or 2 strokes less a minute than the Leander crew, but every single time they're drawing away by an inch or 2 each stroke, and it's pulling away from this Leander crew, who are a good crew, absolutely, as you said, and they're doing absolute best to keep on level terms. But I love the way this Princeton crew are moving this boat. The application of power, the amount of time they're keeping that blade in the water, keeping that boat moving. Amazing to watch.
Yeah, absolutely amazing to watch. And the US Women's 8, if you've been a fan of rowing for some time, you know, the last kind of 20-25 years, you'll know the sort of, you know, travelator and consistent production of exceptional female athletes that the US have gone on to produce. Olympic gold medalists. You know, there was a point at which the US Women's 8 went unbeaten until, you know, about 5 or 6 years ago. But in recent years, that's not quite been the case, Jim. And this is a building back kind of phase.
Bodes well, I think, given his best racing. For those of you, again, if you're tuning in from America to watch, there's a signal marker in the back, the 3/4 mile. You see the number 1 is the number 1 position. You can just see the top of the number 2 position popping on the left-hand side. That shows the relative different distance of the crews. So Prince's got about 2.5 length lead, just gone through halfway.
And there was a little shake of the head there for Claire Collins in the stroke seat. I'm not sure what she's not happy with there in that 8, and a little bit of fiddling for Coral Custon in the Cox's seat with her headset. Not sure if something's maybe affecting the calling there.
It's wobbling around a little bit. This middle third, if there is going to be a wind effect or maybe a little bit of wash and pleasure craft down the side of the course, this is where it'll get them. But if you look at this shot, they look long and composed, don't you? And here we are, the Leander crew absolutely not giving up. They're fighting to get back onto level terms.
They are, and still keeping composed though, and they're really getting on to work, you know, nice and quickly. They're rowing on home water in front of home crowds. The Leander Club, where these athletes will train, is just after the finish line, and that was a great call there. We just saw someone in the crew, I think that was Izzy Hawes, in the 6th seat, just saying, you know, now's the time to go.
And you can see the look on their faces, the expressions, how much they're putting into this. And if you haven't rowed before, just to explain how much this hurts, it's absolutely been burning 2 or 3 minutes ago, let alone as we're coming towards the final stages of the race.
Yeah, and this USA women's group in the Princeton Training Center and Advanced Rowing Initiative, they certainly don't seem like they've been putting absolutely everything into it for the last few minutes, because they look so relaxed, but let me tell you, they are.
Well, it's such an efficient stroke as well. If you're not a great aficionado of rowing, look at the front, the bow of the boat where that little white ball is, how it's cutting smoothly and efficiently to the water. They're just making it row so easy. Yeah, they're just making life so easy for themselves.
Yeah, and you can see that there on the side-on shot. There's no dipping, there's no bouncing, there's no nothing. It's gliding over the top of the water, and the rowing fans here on the bank will take pleasure in watching this sublime crew from the USA row over the line, and this crew will be looking forward to racing other international competition later in the regatta. Leander Club, though, is well, unfortunately, it looks like won't be holding the title once again here in the Remenham. And there are the US women victorious there in that Remenham Challenge Cup, and big cheers for their opposition, Leander Club.